Welcome back. It is time for S17. This is Division 2, round 16 for the Plusbit race around here. It is time for the Dutch GP here at Zandvoort, at the Netherlands. My name is Jamie Morris, and I'll be taking you through the action here tonight for this 18-minute qualifier session and the 36-lap race we have in store ahead of us. And hopefully it'll be a good one as well, because we've seen yesterday it was a quite interesting race with the US trains and the battles we had down towards turn 1. And hopefully you've seen what can happen here tonight as well. Electro Dan, Lord by the Top G are back, and we've seen that Lord Ruder has retired as well from qualifying. I think he may have a qualifying ban. But Las Vegas, it was a post-race interview or post-race penalties that decided the championship, because Burmeister wasn't the championship champion, but during the post-race interviews or penalties, it all changed around, and it was Burmeister who did win the championship after the Grand Prix, after it all ended, after the race classifications were updated. So he has officially won the championship, has Burmeister, and congratulations, what a season it has been for Burmeister after missing out to Mansell last season in Division 2. He turned up here with a big statement, and he made sure he turned every single race as well, even when he was ill. As we head down towards turn 1, this is Lord by the Top G on his flying lap then, as he makes his way around turn 1, heading towards turn 2 and turn 3. This banking here as we now head downhill towards turn 3, up, back again, through the gears we go. Be careful on traction on the exit as well. Very easy to bog down there, has massive wheel spin on the exit of the corner as we climb towards the end of the first sector for Lord by the Top G, coming through Skyflop now, as I'm not Dutch, so apologies if I do say the name wrong, because my Dutch pronunciations aren't that great, as I'm pretty sure you heard yesterday with Manan Langer, who said the name correctly there. As we now come through turn 9, now through the left-hander of turn 10, open up the corner as you want to get as close to the apex as you possibly can at the exit of turn 10. As I think a Ferrari's got off the track in the exit of turn 8 as well, where we've seen, I think, Charles Leclerc, who crashed in 2023, was it? When he crashed in qualifying that day, as we exit turn number 12, the chicane, coming towards the final two corners where George Russell dropped it in 2021 in qualifying, and Sebastian Vettel too when he spun off in the gravel. As Lord by the Top G is about to set the first final lap around here in Zandvoort. It's a 10.0, and Zenom goes towards the top of the timing sheet. Remember, last season Zenom got disqualified from qualifying after spinning and going backwards. Klusler goes into P3 and Neymar goes into P4. Now Atlas Copo replaced him into P4. So that's the second off pole there as Burmeister, the champion, goes up into P2 at his home Grand Prix. Looking to win his home Grand Prix as Mills is in P7. That must have been him who went off there, unfortunately, after having that spin there. Sorry about that, I was just checking something. So yeah, Yusuf Shabak then goes up into P3, half a second off Velocio Jr. in P2. As Velocio Jr., a former race winner of course this season, who is now P3. This championship is done and dusted, but there's still a battle for P2 between Velocio Jr. and Yusuf for P2 and P3. So that championship is spicing up. Yarum is not here. Yeah, he is, sorry, he's in P11, so he is here, as he still could fight for third and second in the championship as well. Yusuf Shabak, unfortunately, lost the race win after winning at the Las Vegas Grand Prix, but he picked up penalties after the Grand Prix due to infringement under the safety car and therefore dropped backwards. It was Zenom who won the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and finally Zenom wins the race because he picked up a podium last season, his one and only podium, and heading towards the season with 2 races left to go, he had neither win or a podium on the cards, and finally getting that first win would definitely improve his confidence as well, especially towards the last stage of the season. As we see Yarum now entering the chicane, he goes down from second gear, upshifting to third immediately on the exit there, as the back of the car was a bit twitchy as he stepped on the loud pedal, headed down towards the final two corners. He goes now with DRS wide open for the Haas driver as he exits the final corner on the banking, of course. As we make our way down towards the line, it's going to be a 9.4 as he puts himself into P3, as Velocio Jr. just in front of us goes up into P2 with a 9.419. So nobody is matching Zenom, but Zenom is going quicker in the middle sector. This is his third lap on the same set of the softcore powered tyres. So different drivers go for continuous rounds on the same set of softcore powered tyres as they want to feel for the track as well. Try save a set just in case there's a safety car. And here comes the Ferrari driver as he powers his way towards the line. He goes quicker. It's a 9.1, and he beat Martin's lap time from last night. The pole time for Division 3 was a 9.3, set by Martin, and now it's been beaten by under 2 tenths of a second as Zenom there stretches his advantage at the top on the timing sheets as we see Neymar go up into P4 in the Mercedes. Veloci Jr., however, is improving in the sector by 10th and a bit, but needs to find a bit more time in the last sector as he makes his way out on the final 2 corners. Let's see if the Aston Martin has a response to try and beat the poleman's time as he makes his way towards the line. It's going to be a 9.2, so he's getting closer and closer as we're almost inside the 8s. I dare say we're going to get inside the 8s very soon. Electro Dan in the Red Bull goes up into P11. Of course, him and the Lord by the Top G had a bit of time off, of course, so they haven't really been around much this season, unfortunately, like I expected them to, because they had really good pace last season, picking up wins each, but of course they both had a bit of time off, and luckily they're back as well. Electro Dan picked up 1 win back at the Hungarian Grand Prix. That was the second race of the season. Lord by the Top G hasn't picked up a win, but he's picked up 1 podium this season, and that was back at the Chinese Grand Prix. We're almost coming towards the end of the game cycle as well, so I know a lot of drivers are not really caring about practice as well. Energy Dan has joined the session, so I think he wants to commentate with me as I'll get him in the session then. Veloci Jr., I think he's headed back in the pit lane after completing his first flying lap, as we see the Aston Martin then head back in the pit lane. A very competitive lap time as well. There's a lot more to come because both of them, in fact, Neymar, Mills, Veloci Jr. and Zenom have fueled the car for more than 1 lap. They've gone around 3 or 4 times on the same sets, improving as well. So I expect to see a massive improvement from all those guys as Yusuf Shabayek heads towards turn 1. And in the party with me, his name is Energy Dan, the man who's in P3. I don't think he's ready just yet. As Lord by the Top G then.
Guten Tagen, Jamie. How are you?
Good, thank you, mate. How are you in Dutch?
I'm very well, mate. I'm very well today, mate. Sorry for the late arrival. Family matters and shower matters and just getting back from work. But yeah, I'm here eventually.
I'm sorry, Lord by the Top G. I didn't know you were listed, so I wouldn't have said it otherwise. But yeah, you haven't picked up a win. You haven't picked up a win yet this season, as Daniel has in the Aston Martin before he left Aston Martin, as Veloci Jr. now is the full-time Aston Martin driver. As Yusuf Shabayek then, the man who provisionally won the Las Vegas Grand Prix until Zenom won it after post-race penalties. His teammate is right behind him, so both racing bulls then are following each other as they were back in Las Vegas when Atlas Copo picked himself up a 5-second time penalty or 5 place penalty. Simon in P4, here comes Yusuf, and here comes Yusuf. They both go P3 and P5.
Looking at these times so far, mate, they're looking pretty spicy at the top there. Nearly in the 108s. Only a couple of attempts for Zenon, a couple of attempts for Veloci Jr. A little bit more for Yusuf Farouk, but yeah, a couple of drivers there, maybe creeping into the 108s. Do you think it's possible, Jamie?
Yeah, definitely as well. I think the guys at the top, like Zenon, Junior as well, in P2, P1, they can definitely get towards the 8s because they did their best time on the 3rd lap, the 3-lap old set of stock compound tyres, as Burmeister, the champion, goes up into P7 behind his teammate Samir by a few hundredths of a second there, so fine margins between those two. But yeah, I think they could definitely get pole in the 108s for sure. I'm quite sure who, but I think Zenom has a good chance.
What do you think of this track, Jamie? Because I personally love it. I think it's such a great track. It's almost Brazil-esque for me. You know, it's not too technical, but there are some technical sections in it in terms of having to drop down a gear, up a gear to manipulate the torque of the engine, some tricky braking sections. But on the whole, you can pretty much go hell for leather around here, which is why I like it. But you've got to be a little bit careful. Some sections are a bit like street circuits, and then some decent runoffs. But yeah, what do you think of it, mate?
In terms of league racing, it's alright. We see some good battles, but in terms of real life, not that much because we don't really see much action. Unless, of course, 2023 where we saw a lot of action on the first lap with the wet conditions coming in. But Perez went for the back to first, and Verstappen dropped down to 12th. Then in about space of over 10 laps, Verstappen got back to first place. But yeah, not really one of my favourite tracks. Of course, the Dutch GP is going at the end of 2026 or 5. I can't remember which one it is, but yeah.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
The Dutch GP is leaving, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately, but
no. Yeah. I mean, although I like the track and I like watching the races around here, it doesn't promote much overtaking. You know, I think it's one of those tracks that could do with a bit of an overhaul. Maybe add in some longer, faster sections, because it's on the cusp of a balance for me. It's got the tight, twisty sections and technical sections. It's got the long straight. I don't think the straight is quite long enough. I think that's what they need to change to promote a bit of overtaking around here. But I think it's a fun track to drive in terms of league racing, but it is particularly difficult to overtake here. You see a lot of DRS trains, and you're basically waiting for someone to make a mistake.
Indeed, as well. Yeah, it's very difficult to overtake around here. You get stuck on a lot of DRS trains. Zenom then extends the margin. Emils goes into P3, and both Ferraris then, as Vlocchio Jr., the first driver to get himself in the 8. It's an 8.977, and he beats it by just under 0.2 of a second. Now, what a fantastic lap time there from the Aston Martin driver, who is fighting for P2 in the championship. But yeah, this track, the last time he raced around this track before it came back was like 1985. That was Niki Lauda's last F1 win. 24th or 25th F1 win. But of course, it came back to the calendar in 2021. It was supposed to come back in 2020, this track, but of course, COVID kicked in. So therefore, we couldn't take place around here. Neymar goes up into P5 in Mercedes at 9.4. Now that's 2,000 separating those two as well from P5 to P6.
I've just done a quick calculation as well, Jimmy, while you were talking there. And according to my calculations, which are often wrong, Burmeister needs to get... Oh, no, hang on. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Sorry, carry on, Jamie. I've done it wrong myself.
Yeah, Burmeister is the official world champion. He has got it.
Oh, yes, yeah, he's done it, hasn't he? I just realised that I was looking at Div 1 then. I'm tired, Jamie. I'm tired. Oh.
I've done it before where I looked at the wrong division thinking, surely he's won a championship. Because I remember saying last week that he only needs a few points.
I was right last week when I was seeing in the chats, like, yeah, he's going to be world champion. I was like, no, he's got another race, I was like, no, I've done it right. But yeah. So last week I was right, this week I was wrong.
Low by the top G then is improving in the middle sector as he heads towards the chicane, currently down in P12, both Saubers in P12 and 15th. But of course, low by the top G and also Electro Dan, they both haven't been here for the majority of the season, but when they have, they showed some really good pace. And here comes top G as he makes his way towards the line. What's going to be for this kick Sauber? He gets himself inside the top 10 just ahead of Klusler by 0.04 of a second there. As the Dutchman, Klusler, is headed down towards turn 3. Now, I remember you two fighting for a podium around here last season, I think in the wet conditions, and I remember you spinning at turn 7.
Who's that, sorry, me and who?
Klusler.
Oh, I used to call him Klausterfuck. Because when he first started in the league, he wasn't the best at wheel-to-wheel racing, but he's come on leaps and bounds, and supposed to be a respect to Klauser because he's done really well in Division 2. He's held his own. So yeah, full respect. Sam had just got a little bit on the curb there. Yeah, so Klauser's done really well to put out the bag in Div 2, and he's certainly showing what he's made of because he's not that far off, you know, competitive times in the midfield there. So yeah, fair play to Klauser.
Talk about him as he makes his way out of the final corner. Let's see where the Dutchman could go in his home Grand Prix. I think he finished P3 last season, and he puts himself inside the top 10. Just his home Grand Prix. It's Burmeister and Klaus, all Dutch fifth row. Jarl, however, is back in the pit lane, and I don't think he's improving either. We've got a few people in the pit lane.
Here's one for you. I think Sam had actually ran out of fuel. He was actually up on his time. And as he came around the banking corner, he actually ran out of fuel, mate. So he had to abort his lap and come in. To
be fair, he is on 5 lap set of soft compound tyres. Like
that might be it then. He was up on his time though. He was up by 3,000th of a second in the last sector, so he wasn't doing too bad.
We've still got one driver out there, which is Klusler, but majority of drivers in the pit lane. And Vlocchio Jr. has done a Sebastian Vettel. And has put his car in the garage and retired there, so he'll be sitting on the sidelines, hoping second or third out of well.
Yeah, Klaus is going slow as well. I think he's run out of fuel, or running out of fuel. He needs to get a shifty on actually, really, because I think he's only got like I don't think he's going to make another lap because he's got 2:30 left. I don't think he's got enough time. He's about 45 seconds from when you get into your pit garage by being able to get back out. So yeah, I think he's done, mate. Yeah, he's done, mate.
His teammate, however, Joram, is currently on an outlap, is the Haas driver, the man that's picked up 2 wins this season back in Austria and Mexico. I expected a lot from Joram this season because he had a very strong showing towards the end of that last season, season 16, but only needs a strong showing towards the first part of the season, where Mexico and Austria he was really strong, Hungary and Imola he had a DNF as well, but other than that, winning at Japan, and that was it as well. He's had 3 wins and 5 podiums. In fact, 2 wins and 5 podiums. Sorry, he did win in Mexico. It was Burmeister who won in Mexico. I just read the wrong graphic there. But here he is out of the final few corners. Let's see if the Brit can get himself on pole for the second time this season. Let's see what Joram could do around the circuit as he makes his way out of the final corner. This track, of course, returned in 2021, where Max Verstappen went on a 3 winning streak, 21 to 23. And, of course, Lando Norris won last year. Peter Verstappen in his home Grand Prix, but we know McLaren car is so strong. As we head down towards turn 3, Joram then taking the not taking the high line out there as he exits the corner. Nice traction indeed. Car looks fully planted as he just follows the racing line. As we head up towards the first sector, it's going to be a 24.3. What a bit tense up in the first sector is Joram as he now heads towards turn number 7, where we saw, I think, Nicholas Latifi crash in 2021, and also Logan Sargent, who crashed as well during the race. As we see here out of turn 10 we go into 4th gear, just trying to rotate the car, the front end of the car as well as we make our way out of turn 10. DRS enabled immediately as we head down towards the chicane he goes. Let's see if he's up or down.
Just a quick one, mate. Yusuf Shabik is following Yusuf Farouk, and I don't know who's on a hot lap or not, but they're so close together. I don't know if they're trying to help each other or one's helping the other, but they're a little bit too close, and they're both on hot laps, and they're also going really close to another driver. They're going to get on top of each other here, so I'm not sure what's happening here, mate. If it's unplanned or just miscommunication, we just see Yusuf Farouk get a little bit wide and get the tail happy. But yeah, so that wasn't the best of planned Visa Cash App racing from them two at all, tripping over each other. So yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, James. I wanted to let you know that was happening.
I'm on board with Shabik. He could get a nice turn for the back of the Haas, even though his teammate's gone. Yep. So here comes Shabik then on the back of Klusler. He's got a nice slipstream. He's 3 tenths up in the middle set. So let's see where the racing ball driver could go as he crosses the line right now. He goes up into P2. Yeah. Shares the front row with Velocio Jr. What about Zedem? Zedem is about a 10th and a half up in the centre. Here he is out of the final corner. Let's see where the Ferrari driver can go. Can he put himself on pole for the first time this season? Here he is. No, he can't. He missed out by 200ths of a second. That is so close between first and second.
I think the Visa Cash App guys were doing a tour there. I think it was a sacrificial lap from Farouk to get Shabik up there. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. What do you think, Jamie?
The whole season they've both been doing it. Ever since I think they appeared at the Austrian Grand Prix, Mr. Joker was Yusuf Farouk, and they've always given each other a tow every single race as well, every single qualifier session. So they're very good at teamwork, but it's a bit too close for comfort. Here comes Neymar across the line. Neymar goes up to P4. That's a great qualifier for him.
Nice. 5,000. Fair play. He's very quick in the race as well. He's got great race pace as Neymar, but he seems to drop off at the later stages of the stints. So hopefully on this track where the front left does get a pounding, he can actually make it work.
On pole once again is Velocio Jr. That's his 6th pole of the season. Can he convert it into his 3rd win? Zedem is in P2 after being disqualified last season for going backwards. 1600 separating those two. Yusuf Shabik up into P3 ahead of Neymar. Joram P5. In Mills P6. Samed in P7 ahead of Yusuf Farouk. Burmeister P9 ahead of Adams. Electro Dan 11th. Klusler 12th. Alex Cooper 13th. Lord by the top G. And the 2 kick Sabers then start at the back of the field. And hopefully be a good race. 36-lap race around here. No championship is on the line for Division 2. It's already been wrapped up by Burmeister, but hopefully we can still have a good race around here.
Yeah, so it's a pretty straightforward one here. If there's no rain, it's a medium to soft strategy. Anyone who starts on the softs in the front of the pack will end up holding up the mid pack and causing, let's just say, some elbows out. You get to about lap 8 on the softs from heavy fuel and they just start fading very quickly. So yeah, the quickest strategy is mediums, starting on the mediums and then going to the softs. So about 21, I came in at lap 20, you can go lap 21, and if you're brave, or if you've got the pace, you can go lap 22, do less laps on the softs because you can push them more at the end. So I think majority of people will do the medium to soft. You will get a few brave souls or people that haven't done their homework starting on the softs, or even some people that haven't done the homework using the hards, which if they use the hards round here, kiss your ass goodbye, because they are absolute trash.
Probably explains why I was struggling on hardcore power tires when I put the hards on. But yeah, I was thinking, I thought the strategy was mediums to hards, hards to mediums. But
No, it's
turns
not,
out the
mate.
soft
So
power tires not too bad.
if you like the hards, you have to take out a shed load of tyre pressure to make it work. And the only way you can do that is starting on the hards with low pressure, and the hards don't do as bad. But then you've got to pray that when you get onto the mediums, your tyres don't overheat by having that low pressure. So yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's just not the done strategy around here. The hards just do not work, mate. They're a very resilient tyre, so if you want to start on softs, you know, try and make up a few positions or try and make out a lead if you're in pole position. But then once you get into the hards, you have to absolutely spank that pony and draw every ounce of ability out of those tyres to make it work, because they just don't have the grip. You know, you think you can change the lines or whatever, but because of the technical track, the turns and the consistent turns, you need that grip of the medium or soft tyre, and the hards just don't do well around here. So that's why you shouldn't touch the hards. I used to do hards around here. On this game, you just can't touch them. They're just rubbish.
Thank you for the info. And also as well, elsewhere, I'd like to announce as well that at Alton Park yesterday, unfortunately, we had that massive crash. 11 riders involved in Alton Park, and unfortunately, the race was cancelled. 2 riders passed away, and 11 riders were injured in total. So yeah, it's part of motorsport, and it shows you how dangerous motorsport could be as well. And yeah, sadly for those 2 people, talented riders who passed away, and the whole race got cancelled as well. So yeah, thoughts and prayers for those people who don't watch British Supersport or British Superbikes, but of course it's still part of motorsport, and it shows why motorsport can be dangerous as well. So just a reminder to all those out there as well. But
respect to those families, and yeah, unfortunate for them.
Yeah, that's the news we received. I think it was Sunday or yesterday when we saw that race going ahead in Alton Park. Of course, I've been to Alton Park. It's a fantastic track, and of course we have seen the British Touring cars around there as well. But here in the Netherlands, 15 drivers then line up on the grid. And we've got a few people splitting strategies from soft. There's 4 people in soft compound tyres. Majority went mediums yesterday, but we've got a few people in soft compound tyres. As here we go, the light's about to go away, and we are underway for the Dutch GP. It seems that Zeno gets a better start as we head down towards turn 1. He has the inside line, but Velocio Jr. swoops around the outside to maintain the lead. There's a Ferrari who's made contact in the background.
Emil's has spun round. He made a great dive, not dive, but he made a great move into turn 1 and just got tapped in the rear by, I don't know if it's Adams or Frug, I don't know, but yeah, he got spun round, and that's unfortunately down to the back of the grid on soft now.
Yeah, I did see an RB, so I think it was Yusuf Faruqa got involved in that contact as Yusuf Shabeka's further up in P3. Adams, last season's race winner, currently sat down in P9. It was wet conditions last season, full wet conditions. Then they switched over to the intermediates. It's all about who can make the wet work and pit at the right time as well, because Burmeister pitted a bit too early last season. It cost him as Adams, a safety car came out for Adams, and it worked in his hands, and he went on to win the Grand Prix.
Jimmy, just on a lighter note, it looks a bit overcast to me. Is there a possibility of rain here? Because it doesn't look very bright. It looks quite dull. I'm wondering if there's actually a chance of rain tonight.
Yeah, reminiscent like last season. I think we saw a lot of rain last season as well. But Velocio Jr. sets fast up the Grand Prix. Ruder's gone from P15 to P13 in the kick salve, but of course Atlas Coppo's still there, but he's behind it towards turn 1. As we head down towards the first corner in Tarzan, now towards turn 3, Velocio Jr. is under pressure, but I think he did a very fantastic job to keep ahead of Zenom. The outside line is a good way as well to take the lead the Grand Prix, because you have more momentum, better grip on the outside. As in towards turn 1, if you're on the inside, you don't get that better grip because you're put into a good angle, therefore it's a bit difficult to kind of throttle quicker as well in comparison to your rival in first place.
I'm just looking as well, Jamie. Zenon is keeping on the back of Velocio Jr.'s gearbox, but he's only got a finite amount of laps in these softs to be competitive. I think the only way he can really make this work for me is just sticking on the back of him, not really pushing him, just letting Velocio Jr. pull him along for the next 10, maybe even 14 laps. If he could extend by being on the back of his gearbox, he could maybe make this work by undercutting him by being on the softs, but he needs to stay on the back of him. He needs to stay on the gearbox. So is he going to overtake now? I think it looks like he is, so he's going for it. Right, okay, Zenon, fastest lap, 1:12.068. So yeah, that answers your question. He's not holding back, he's going for it.
And Yusuf has been overtaken there, and now on the outside is Neymar. They go side by side in towards turn 2 and turn 3 they go. Neymar has the inside line as Yusuf is trying to keep his foot in on the outside, but he can't do so. But Neymar gets a better exit in towards turn 3, now heading towards the hill at the exit of turn 7. Neymar is up into P4 ahead of Yusuf there. Got compromised by Yoram as Neymar touched the grass on the inside. As someone says, have you got a Discord server? We have, mate. I think the Discord server is in the link in the description. As here we go down the inside, as Simon up the inside in towards the right-hander of turn 9, heading towards turn 10. You're fighting in obscure places around here you don't want to do because you lose the DRS. So I think these guys need to end their battle quickly before they lose the DRS and not keep up with the guys ahead. But Simon's up the inside and towards the chicane he goes as Yusuf is forced off the track. And now the other Williams, the Burmeister, goes around the outside.
Yeah, saw that coming from when he set it up. He was obviously going to go for the inside line. I think it was a bit advantageous from Youssef Shabek for keep his nose in there. It's obviously he'd lost it when he had the inside line there. So yeah, he should have backed out of that. But yeah,
the only link in the description is the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I will put it on the YouTube now, mate.
Yeah, so Energy Dan, the co-commentator, will put the link in the description on the YouTube channel, and it'd be very nice to have you here wherever you found us on Grid Finder, or if this just popped up on your feed in general, then that was very good indeed. Please do join this league because it's been around for a very long time, since what, 2017, 2018. This is season 17, so we've been running for such a long time. We've got 4 divisions, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Division 1 is our 7:30 on Wednesdays. Division 2 is now 7:30. We've got a few people swapping places. Shabek's gone down the order again. He's down into P11, so we're having a torrid time out there here at the Dutch GP after an amazing qualifying. But unfortunately, been shuffled backwards into P11. Electro Dan now is on the back of him as we head down towards the chicane we go. Thanks, I found it on your Facebook. Join in now. Thank you very much, me, and hopefully we see you in the future whether you're racing in Division 1, 2, 3, or 4. Division 1, of course, Wednesdays, 7:30. Division 2, as Velocio Jr. then is about to re-overtake Zenom. He puts himself back into first and second, as Joram is trying to catch up, but he's lost the DRS.
Yeah, sorry, Jamie, I am back. I was just sorting that link out. Yeah, it looks like we've got quite a tight field, really, from start to finish. No one's really making any big gaps. The biggest gap, really, is Burmeister Samed, who's actually trying to catch up now. Both on the medium tyres. It's 1.2 now. Let's see what it's like when it crosses the line in another half lap's time. But this particular set of corners he's on now is really fast. There's no braking, just downshift once. Next corner downshift once, and then here's just a couple of downshifts and just ping it round. So he's made it up 2 attempts in a few corners, so he's now nearly with it. Yeah, he's in DRS now. So Burmeister on Neymar is within DRS. So we should see. Oh, he's just dropped out again. We should see in the next half a lap or maybe a lap time that Burmeister will be on the back of these guys and making moves.
And also, as well, Neymar lost the car at the exit of turn 7. He went off onto the curb, got stuck on there, and Samit just went through up to P4. Now Samit is putting big pressure on Yoram just in front of him. Now the DRS open for the Williams as he puts himself into P3.
Oh! So Burmeister's got overtook by Yusuf Farouk. I think Burmeister's done himself a dirty here because he's got almost no battery. He's left himself a bit vulnerable now. So yeah, unfortunately Burmeister's going backwards. He was about to put pressure on Neymar, but he's now having to put pressure on Yusuf Farouk.
It looks like at the front of the field as well. Zenom is 8 tenths behind Velocio Jr., indicates that his soft compound tyres at this stage, even though there is only 6 laps in this Grand Prix, are starting to just give up the peak performance there. He's losing time. You can see the distance between first and second, just losing all sorts of time. Is Zenom. Jarl's got past Simon again, and I think Simon's made a big mistake in the same place where Neymar made a mistake, and Simon capitalised on the last lap, but this lap he's dropped backwards, so probably done the same mistake as Neymar did.
Yeah, I actually saw that from Burmeister's point of view. He saw that happening. There's a Neymar now going to try on the inside. Yes, he gets it done. He's going to contact's made. It was. Ooh, that was a bit tasty. But yeah, Neymar does get it done on Samad. But now Samad will have the DRS on Neymar. So this might be another swap back at the end of this straight.
And as you see, the gap is 1.2 seconds towards first and second. So Zenom has lost the DRS, though, fortunately for himself. The soft compound tyre is not working. The two Salvas there swap places. Roda, who is a very hardy driver indeed. We've seen his pace so far, but has been unlucky at times this season. Is up into P11 ahead of his teammate Lord by the top G. And Alessio Dan down there in P13 as well. Yarum's 2 seconds back, but with the soft compound tyre starts to drop away from Zenom, will he able to claw that gap back under a second and get himself a DRS range? However, Samid is right at the back of Neymar as well, so those guys getting very close in the first corners, in the high-speed corners as we head now towards turn 8.
I've just noticed as well, Jamie, Samad then, he had a massive lift coming into the first right-hander in Sector 2. Normally you just drop a gear and pin it, but he had to lift massively, and on the second right-hand turn, he had to lift massively again. So I wonder if Neymar is just holding these guys up a little bit, as well as Yaham. Samad might have a bit more pace than Neymar and Yaham, because I've never seen anyone lift so heavily in those two right-handers there in Sector 2.
Yeah, sometimes it might be a bit nervous because he made a mistake not too long ago in the same corner. However, Zenom is back in DRS range though, so I wonder if Velocio Jr. made a mistake because the gap was like over 1.5 seconds, that was 9/10 again. So I wonder a mistake there for Velocio Jr. has brought Zenom back into DRS.
Yeah, it could be that Zenon's just looking after his tyres for a few laps because they were getting overheating. He'll drop out that 1 second again now though, but I mean, I do think it's a bit of a silly move starting on softs. I don't think it's a stronger strategy. But case in point, lap 8, you know, you've only got maybe 40% of your tyre, competitive tyre life left by lap 8, so you have to spank the pony big time and go a little bit earlier into your pit stop, or like I said at the start of this race, just tag onto the back of his coat strings, and he's not done either. You know, he's not spanked it, and he's not conservative. So I think he's a bit in no man's land now. Yaham 2.4 back, so he's kind of safe there for now. But I imagine Yaham's going to start reeling him in the next few laps. So let's just keep a track on Yaham's time, and of course Zenon's delta to Velocio Jr.
Yeah, I'm never the one that likes to start on the softer compound tyres, whether it's soft medium or hard medium. I always like to start on the harder tyre as Neymar goes back up into P3 ahead of y'all. They're going side by side towards turn 1 then, so didn't get it done on the straight, but so close. And here comes Samid now, side by side towards turn 2. Now turn 3 we go. Y'all has the inside line, locks up his brakes and almost loses the car, but luckily he saves it.
Wow.
As we have massive, he's in the wall! He has crashed where Franco Colapinto crashed.
That was not Samad's fault. That was not Samad's fault. Samad was all the way on the right hand side, almost with the tyre on the grass.
I agree.
So I can 100% say that was not Samad's fault.
Yeah, I agree too. I was on board with you when he pinned it in the wall. So yeah, I think he is self-inflicted there by the Haas driver. He just lost traction and just went to the side of Samid and in the wall too. Same place as Logan Sargent, sorry, not Franco Colapinto who crashed there. It was Logan Sargent. As Franco Colapinto, I think the race later in Monza replaced him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there from Yaham. It might have been a bit of wheel spin. I don't know if you saw what he did. But yeah, it certainly wasn't Samad's fault.
Yeah, I saw it, don't worry. Samid is innocent there on the outside. Just one of those things really, just loses traction and hits the side of your rival. As we see Samid then with the DRS wide open again on Neymar as he now has the inside line heading down towards turn 1. Yusuf and Burmeister, Adams and Klaus have all caught up as well. And Yusuf Shabayuk as we see who's dropped down the order. That's Neymar. He's going side by side with Yusuf Farouk there. I didn't realise Yusuf was fully alongside.
Yeah, so going back to Zenon now, so he's now 1.7. He's dropped nearly, 7/10 in 2 laps. So those softs compared to the mediums are done. Competitively, there's nothing in them. So Zenon really only has one choice. Oh, virtual. So will Zenon now change to the mediums?
And that virtual safety car has been caused because Jorm's dropped it and he's hit the wall, and that's not on, unfortunately. Yeah, a safety car's been deployed. So a safety car has been deployed.
Okay.
And
was that a crash out?
Yeah, go on the stream.
Oh.
Go on the stream.
Oh my god.
So the reason why I'm saying safety car is because there's a yellow dot on the screen and it's going around turn 2 right now. Look on your right side, there's a yellow dot on the side there, and that's because of a safety car has been deployed.
Right, Jamie, I'm just going to check something. I'll be silent for a few minutes.
So in the pit lane comes Velocio Jr. This has really screwed over, but they can still go on the hard compound tyres because that's what they're going to do. I don't think these guys are going to do a two-stop. Let's see. Yep, the hard compound tyres is being fitted on to the side there as Neymar has picked himself up a 10-second penalty in the Grand Prix as he now heads on to the hard compound tyres. What will Zenom do? It's mediums, so he had a choice. He could go in the mediums or the hards, but he is going to go in the medium compound tyres. The top 3 have stayed out during the Grand Prix here. So Salmon has stayed out, Lord by the top G has stayed out too, and Electro Dan has as well. But yeah, I expected better from what I've just seen there, and you should not be doing that whatsoever to interfere with the race just like that. But yeah, that's comments later for the stewards because obviously I don't want to get involved in it. But the safety car is out and they've caught up to it right now. Whilst the safety car is out, I will quickly go to the toilet.
So yeah, unfortunate there from what we've just seen, but of course there is still an awesome race ahead of us. We've got Samed now in the lead, then Lord Top G, and then Electro Dan. We've got Velocio Jr. on the hards, Zenon on the fresh mediums, and then we've got Neymar, Youssef, Burmeister, Adams, Klauser, Ruder, and Shabek all on the hards. So I might have to eat my words by saying the hards are trash. But the only person that can really save me right now is Zenon. So Zenon, please do not make me eat my words. Make sure those mediums go to the end and make sure you finish at least in P5. Otherwise I will have to eat my words. So please do us all a favour. Protect your commentator. As Samed comes into the pits, is Lord G going to come in? No, Lord Top G is going to stay out. Oh, Samed gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Wow. Wow. So Lord Brad, the Top G, stayed out. Electrodon stopped out. No one else. Why would... I don't understand why these guys have stayed out. I know they don't want to go on the hards, but surely... it's a bit of a lost cause by staying out because they're now going to be 21 seconds in the deficit when they have to pit unless there's another safety car. Maybe they're hoping the hard tyre runners are going to struggle and maybe even cause another safety car. I don't know. We'll soon see. So we should have, it's saying virtual safety car, but it's definitely a full safety car on my screen. So we've probably got about, it'll probably go around another lap, I would imagine. I don't think it's going to come in this lap.
Yeah, it will go for one more lap. So I am back, went to the quick toilet. As Spyblaze just tagged me for some reason in the chat, but it's all good. It's all good. It was the wrong chat, sorry. So yeah, safety cars came out because of the crash from Yor with the exit of turn number 10, and the safety car should have been out, but unfortunately it is. As we get racing once again, the safety car is coming in towards the end of this lap as we go back towards the top end of the field. So the top 2 have stayed out. And now what's happened to Velocio Jr.? He got jumped by Zenom in the pit lane. Not quite sure how, because Velocio Jr. was leading the Grand Prix and almost at the lead. But here we go, racing once again, and here comes the Ferrari, the back of, I think the yellow flag still, but here we go. Green flag racing as we see the Williams, and the Burmeister hits the back of Zenom as he's out of control in towards turn 1 there. Might lose a place towards the Aston Martin, he does. As we go wheel to wheel out of turn number 2 and 3 we go. As we see Burmeister on the outside has the inside line for this corner, he goes deep and does the switchback. Does Velocio Jr. But Burmeister a bit twitch at the exit, so is Velocio Jr. as Burmeister just stays in P5 for the time being. And as Zenom, look at him, right alongside, and there's another yellow flag, and it's the Ferrari who's crashed, and a safety car has been deployed again. Safety car is out once again, and
I know, so this might actually help out Lord Top G, Electro Dan. It's not going to be brilliant for them because they'll still lose quite a lot of positions, but it won't be as bad as having to pit under green flag conditions, so they might save 1 or 2 positions, but they'll probably drop down P11, P12 maybe. I don't know, maybe last place. But who calls this one, Jamie?
Emails. Not on purpose, I think he just crashed out, but yeah. So I'm intrigued. I don't know how Velocio Jr. lost the lead of the Grand Prix. He's down to P6. He was the leader before the safety car came out, and he pitted onto a set of hardcore powered tyres. So how did he lose the lead? I'm so intrigued.
I think it was just in the pit stops. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Zenham pitted early, didn't he? Oh no, he pitted the same lap. I don't know, mate. Actually,
I'm looking at the first safety car. So Velocio Jr. was in P4 during the first safety car, but he must have spun out or something. Let's have a look to see where he lost third place. Yeah, he actually lost the car. So whilst I went to the toilet, he lost it and fell down to 6th place. So he must have had a spin at turn number, where is it? Let's have a look to see where it is. In between 9 and 10, where he lost it, probably at turn 10. Yeah, so turn 10 is where he lost it. Fell down to P7, but went back up into P6 to get that place back. So yeah, Velocio Jr. lost the lead of the Grand Prix essentially and fell down to 6th place. Can you believe that? Under a safety car as well, where he lost the lead. But yeah, Zenham is the net race leader. As we see, Electro Dan and Top G have opted to stay out there on the old Mediacom powered tyres then, so maybe going for the original strategy planned.
I kind of get why they're staying out, because obviously you can take the mediums to lap 21-ish, 22-ish, so there's still a lot of prime in these tyres, and they might be able to eke out 6 or 7 seconds on the hard runners, but they're relying heavily on offsetting their loss in the pit lane stops with the fresh tyres afterwards. So I mean, they've only got like 7 laps if it goes racing after this, maybe even 6 laps, to then pit, lose 21 seconds, and then have to rely on the fresh tyres, maybe softs, or likely to be softs, to be a lot faster than the hard runners, who will then be on 10 lap old tyres. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here, Jamie, because I'm trying to do the math in my head, and I don't think they've got it in hand here. Unless they storm out a second a lap for 6 laps, and then do 1.3 seconds a lap quicker than the hard tyres for the remaining 12 laps. That's the only way I can see them making this work, and I think it's a big ask.
It's definitely a big ask indeed. Might be impossible for those two when they get onto a new set of
1.3, that's a lot, mate. 1.3 a lap, bear in mind. Consistently 1.3 a lap.
Maybe just staying out there in first, second just for the fun of it as well, because obviously they've got nothing to lose. They're reserve drivers that have been around for quite a long time. So yeah, just had a bit of fun, first, second. But Zenham then tries to overtake Electro Dan.
Here's one for you then, Jamie, really quickly. So even if they get a 7 second advantage by the time they need to pit, I'll do this quickly. 7 second advantage, they lose 21, so that'll be 14. Then they gain 1.3 a lap for 10 laps. It's not enough.
Oh, somebody's at the wall. Somebody just hit the wall. That is Yusuf Shabayek, who just lost the rear end and smashed into the wall. Now what's going on here? We've got a bit of a traffic jam with Burmeister and Junior. But anyways, we continue racing very shortly. But has he picked up any form of damage? I can't see it on the car. Let's see if he has or not. But if he does have damage, what a shame there for Yusuf Shabayek, who's had a very hard race indeed here around Zandvoort. Had a very tough time. He hit the back of Burmeister in towards turn 1, I think, or Zenham. But we go racing once again, and Lord by the Top G will lead them away. Electro Dan's P2 ahead of Zenham as we head down towards turn 1. Look at Burmeister on the back of the racing board as we head down towards turn 1. But no moves being made. Both Mercedes in 10th and 11th. Swap places. Neymar now gets ahead of Alascopo and puts himself inside the top 10. They're on new mediums, of course, so they're looking to go forwards. But how quickly can Zenham get past these two? We're going to do it very quickly, but also at the same time, going to do it very carefully, because you don't want to get tangled up with people on all the tyres.
I don't think he will, I think he'll wait, because he knows that Electro Dan is going to be gunning to get in front of Lord of the Top G. So I think Zenham's going to hold his own and just wait for the right opportunity. He's going to watch these guys fight it out and then try and make a move once it happens. But I don't think he's under pressure from the hard runners yet. He's got 3 laps grace until those hard tyres come into play. Maybe 2, because it's just they've been on them for 5 laps, so they've got 2 laps until they're back up to temperature. So maybe he does need to push. And judging by Yusuf Farouk, who's not holding back, he might have to. You might be right, Jamie. He might have to do this quickly.
Because these two obviously will be slower in the high-speed corners, holding Zenom up, and therefore Yusuf and Burmeister to be all at the back of him. Here comes Electro Dan now, side by side, as we head down towards turn 1. We'll bang between those two, as Electro Dan has the inside line, Lord by the top G, trying to stay around the outside. There's a bit of contact between those two in the background. That's Burmeister and Velocio Jr. trying to swap places as well. But Zenom going to be very careful now, because he knows he's on newer tyres. Got to get past them, but at the same time, on the other hand, the guys behind also looking to get past. Look at this exit. From turn 4. We're going side by side in towards the first sector. We're going uphill. He makes his stick. What a fantastic move there from Zenom.
That was a fantastic brave move from Zenon there. He's got big kahunas, so fair play to Zenon for that.
You can see Electro Dan struggling there on the medical bad tyres against people on newer tyres. So here comes Yusuf Farouk. And here comes Zenon with the inside. That's not played. No! He makes contact. Just keeps the car in control. That's a very risky move. Even I would have done that, but he should have done it.
I know why he did that, because he saw Lord the Brad did not get the best launch out of that last corner, so he went for it, and it was just a little bit too late backing out, but it was on the cusp of go for it or don't go for it, and he just made the wrong call by going for it, because it was a millisecond too late, but he saved it, and here it is, DRS open. He's saving his DRS, he's got the wing wide open, and that's it done. Now Zenon needs to, I think, be conservative here, because he's got 18 laps to go. So he's going to end up doing like what, 23 laps or 24 laps on these mediums, so they're going to be screaming by the end. And he's got Yusuf Farouk. Hopefully Yusuf Farouk is held up by Lord, and that gives Zenon a little bit of a breathing space, but I imagine Yusuf Farouk is going to be pushing on the back of Lord pretty quickly.
However, we just saw Burmeister get past Electro Dan as well, the same place Zenom did on Electro Dan. So those two medium winners are starting to fall away. Alice Copo and Adams, they're swapping places for P10, and now Alice Copo's lost another place towards Sam Mid, who's dropped backwards into P11 there. He was running inside the top 6 at one point, but must have got compromised with that double stack. Here comes Velocio Jr. at the outside, not in the chicane, which he doesn't do. That's not a place to do it. Thankfully, he did do it, because no space would be given.
But Lord has got a better battery here. It might be enough to just defend against Yusuf Farouk. He's always got a full battery, so will DRS be enough? It looks like it is. So wow, Lord Brad did not utilise his battery enough there. Maybe it's his tactical, Jamie. Maybe he wants Yusuf Farouk to be in front of him, so that Lord Brad can use. Actually, I just realised Lord Brad's not pitted yet. That's why he's not even. He's at 18 lap old mediums.
Have you just realised?
I have, yeah. Like, what the hell?
But I say, because I was thinking, like, all the things you said about Electro Dan and Top G. I think you like, there's no way.
Yeah, I've only just realised.
That makes sense for the points you were saying then.
Yeah. I didn't even realise that he was on 18 lap old. I thought everyone had pitted, to us with you. Yeah, so. Right, Lord, enjoy P12 when you finally pit.
yeah.
Maybe I was looking at the 8 and I didn't realise there was a 1 before it. I just saw 8. I thought everyone had pitted, but yeah. Anyway.
Sam gets a penalty as he's fighting away with Cruz. That's probably down the chicane where the two go side by side there. Not enough space in the chicane there. It's probably. It is an overtaking place, but at the same time going to be fully alongside as Klusler flirts with coming the outside. Here comes Velocio Jr. now, his turn to overtake Top G as he does. Here comes Burmeister now against the Sauber. Very easy indeed as we head down towards turn 1 we go. In the background we can see a few cars there jockeying for position as we head down towards the first corner we go. There's a huge train behind people on old tyres, and Top G and Electro Dan are back together. Can Roda, can Adams, Neymar get past quickly as well, try and keep up with Burmeister and Velocio Jr. once again. Burmeister, another great race for him. Look at Roda. I thought for 1 second he was about to go side by side with Electro Dan in the same place as we've seen Burmeister and Zedo go past. But this time, Zedo has the advantage of 1.7 seconds. But towards the end, will the hard compound tyres be a little bit of a better tyre in comparison towards Zedo's mediums?
They could be.
Oh,
I mean,
contact, sorry, between Adams and Ruda as he tries to look for him on the inside, but unfortunately just got out of shape, and now he's been overtaken by Neymar.
yeah, I mean, they could be, Jamie. But the mediums are a lovely tyre around here, even on worn. I mean, I think I checked my tyres 2 laps before the end, and they were on like 35% or 40% on some tyres, and they still felt pretty good. I just don't feel that the deficit you get between the 2 tyres of hard and mediums is anything you can really contend with. Maybe these guys that are in the higher division can make it work. Oh, Klauser retires. Yeah, I don't see how the lack of grip can make it work. Safety car, mate, safety car.
Indeed it is. So Electro Dan and Top G will finally pit, hopefully, for their sake. They've got to pit surely.
Was that Klauser before the pit lane?
I think on the banking he crashed there.
Oh, okay. So there we go, another safety car. So that helps out Lord Brad and Electro Dan, who's also not pitted yet. They'll be on the soft tyres, but they will drop to 11th and 12th. But they will then be on the soft tyre for about 13 laps. So I would say they will be very formidable going towards the end. But is it a lot to ask for make them to come from P11 and P12 all the way through? They might get maybe P4, P5 if it goes their way. But it also relies heavily on them getting past people on a track like this. Not the best.
We just got some breaking news in the actual F1 world. So, you know, the team principal of Alpine, Oliver Oakes, unfortunately has resigned as team principal, and that's like the 5th team principal that's gone. And let's see if anybody pits. Yes, so those 2 do pit as I expected, but I think the guys behind Matt pit as well. So.
Samad's pitted as well. And Olascopo and Shabek, right? So they're all going softs. All going softs.
So the Alpine team principals since 2020, Cyril Abitbol, Marcin Bodowski, Otmar Safnauer, Bruno Famin and Oliver Oakes. 5 team principals in the past 5 years.
Wow. So Shabek has gone on to the mediums. So he's got medium, hard, medium. So I think that might be a good shout from Youssef by going on the mediums, because he will have the prolonged grip rather than the fading grip of the softs. Might not be a bad shout from Youssef there. But of course you've got Oscopo, Samad, Electro Dan, Lord, all on the softs. Ruda is on the hards. I think he's going to be a sitting duck. And I think Neymar, I think he's on 10 lap old mediums and Adams on mediums. So I reckon you've got 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th that could all possibly end up being 3rd, 4th and 5th here. Maybe 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Not Samad actually, because he's got a penalty. So maybe Atlascopo. So let me do this. 8th, 9th and 11th could be 2nd, 3rd and 4th by the end of this race.
So the 3rd safety car has definitely paid into the favours. Only 14 laps left to go. Electro Dan, Top G, Samad, Atlascopo, Yus Shibeuk, who's tumbled down the order, but now on a new set of compound tyres there. So the advantage has gone their way. Let's see if they pay dividends towards the last stage or not. But the safety car is in. And once again, the Aston Martin is pressurising Youssef as we head down towards turn 1. Not a great restart from the RB driver, but as we head down towards turn 1, late braking. Here comes Electro Dan on Top G. The 2 soft runners going side by side in towards the first few corners. Bit of contact to the exit as we go wheel to wheel in towards turn 2 and turn 3. So tight through there, but as we see, those 2 are still fighting. I think these 2. Oh, Adams, the exit of turn 4, has gone for a little bit of spin, unfortunately, as Burmeister gets ahead of Rocio Jr. Up into P3 he goes there. So must have got a better exit in turn 4, and he's up there into P3 now.
Yeah, and I was watching on board with Electro Dan. He was getting really tasty there on that restart. He's now got Samad behind him. Electro Dan is pushing on the back of Lord Brad and Ruda, who are fighting tooth and nail. So Electro Dan's just waiting to pounce. And looks like he's going to pounce on the outside with contact on the outside. Is Electro Dan okay? Just about.
Electric Dad's been pushed behind Samid now. He's into P9. They're going, what, three? Where is everybody? I can't even see, but they're going side by side now. Samid and Ruda. Electric Dad's into P9 there, so heavily compromised after fighting with Top G, because Top G has progressed into P6. Ruda and Coconut Butter there on the old hard compound tyres, slowed down massively by the guys ahead as we head down on the main street. We go. DRS is enabled on this lap as we head down towards turn 1. Here comes Samid as he's got a 3-second time to see up the inside in towards turn 1. He goes, trying to keep his foot in there. Could he get... Yeah, he can. Look at this. He gets the Mercedes on the exit as we head through turn 2. There's contact between those two there as there's ball going towards turn 3. Wheel banging between those two. Everybody getting their ropes out. So desperate. And blocked ball by the Top G. Almost spins the car. Makes contact with Electro Dan. It's all getting messy down there with those guys on newer tyres trying to fight their way through. Very quickly indeed, as Samid lets the Sabre go. And Samid's been pushed down to P8, but goes around the outside now of Alex Copo for P7. So all these guys on the new set of compound tyres are tripping over their own toes.
Yeah, we kind of expected that, mate, because they're going to have superior grip. And it's so frustrating when you're coming along the back of drivers that have been on hards or mediums for 12, 13 laps. And you just want to go past them because it's obviously in clear track. You'd be like a 1.5, 1.6 seconds quicker than them. So it is really frustrating. But these guys have to be professional. They have to choose their points better. And they have to race fair. You can't just barge through. So I imagine Division 2 stewards is going to be busy again this week. But yeah, you just have to do it right. You can't just barge your way through.
Be very clean. Coordinate your attacks. Plan it at the right time as well, because the more you scrap, the more contact will be involved as well. More time you lose to guys ahead, because Lord by the Top G is right behind Neymar. They've got a big chance for a podium, maybe a win. As we see Samit there, putting a nose in a place where he shouldn't be. Luckily, not get swiped out by Lord by the Top G there, as he was on the inside towards turn 4. Climbed up towards the hill, in towards turn 7 in Skyflop. And as you can see, Lord by the Top G has got loads more speed in comparison towards Mercedes, but trying to get past him as quickly as he can. Maybe in a place in towards the chicane. Oh, who's that in the foreground? That is Yusuf Farouk, has gone backwards. He's in the gravel as we see Lord by the Top G trying to go around the outside as he now has Samit on the inside. Samit goes up into P5. Has much more grip there. Lord by the Top G got in the grass and therefore had no grip. And now Samit's up into P5.
Yeah, he's also got a penalty to contend with as well, though, mate. So it might not be the best of finishes for Samit because he'll have that 3 seconds that he'll have to serve when he crosses the line. But I just see Samit just getting a little bit twitchy on the back of Neymar there. He wanted to do the overtake on the inside, but Neymar shut the door and he looks like he's coming inside as Samit just gets the fastest lap. So it just shows you how fast. And he goes on the inside on turn 1. More contact. Little bit of contact there, and it just shows you just how fast these soft tyres are. They just want to get past these guys, and the pace deficit is unreal between the soft runners and the used mediums or used hards.
So the two Yusufs at the back of the grid, and Samid is behind Burmeister. Now I wonder, are these two going to work together to try and get the best possible result? One of them has a 3-second time to the other is on all the tyres there, so huge hits for both of them. As Samid, surely not going to make a move on the inside like that, because that is the champion of SFR Division 2. That is his teammate. Don't want to get any contact with his teammate, of course. Burmeister has the upper hand.
I know what I'd do, mate. I'd be sending it. He's already a champion. Who cares?
Fair enough, but that was Burmeister's teammate. I'd show a bit more respect. But Samid now up into P3. That could really help Samid, because Burmeister's now in P4, could possibly defend from Neymar and Top G. Top G, however, has still not got past Neymar. He's been stuck behind him for 2-3 laps now, so not able to go forwards there, and Samid's able to capitalise. Now, he's on the back of Velocio Jr., he puts himself into P2. The problem is, he has got a 3-second penalty, and that could hinder him towards the end of the Grand Prix, so let's see if it does or not.
It might do, but the pace he's showing now, if he can overtake Xenon and then break DRS, and bear in mind Xenon's on 16 lap old mediums, it's not as likely to be a hard fight. He's not really got anyone in the last 3 positions behind him that can really pressure him. So once he gets past Xenon, he should be able to get a healthy lead. It might even be 4.5, 4.8 seconds over the line, maybe, as much as that.
I'm quite surprised that Lord by the Top G. Oh, look at that massive slide there out of turn 8, and here comes this best friend next to him, alongside him towards turn 10. They're not best friends, of course, but Electro Dan goes up into P6 now ahead of the Kickstarter. I don't know why I said that, but Electro Dan now goes up into P6 ahead of the Kickstarter. So these two have been swapping places majority of their laps ever since they've been on the so-called power tyres. They're not really progressed forwards, they've been stuck there in P6
Summit for an overtake.
Let's have a look with the DRS wide open. Here he is then, gains the floor. There's nothing Zeno could do.
Not enough, I don't think. Unless he really pushes it, I don't think it's enough now. But I imagine at the end of this lap it will be an overtake because these tyres are superior. They are definitely Mr. Feelgoods right now for Samad.
Indeed, though. Let's see when Zenom does get overtaken. Can he stick at the back of Samid? Here is Samid then alongside and goes through, and Samid now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. The question
Jimmy,
is,
he's done that at the right place, mate, because he's got all this next sector and sector 3 without DRS. Well, there's a DRS in sector 3, but it's only a short one. He's got all this sector now to try and use these soft tyres to break that 1 second. And I imagine by the next DRS, it won't be far off.
it will be indeed then. So Velocio Jr. has caught up to Zenom right now again. Maybe Zenom's tyres getting older because he's on 17 lap all medium power tyres, so the half runners may have advantage towards Zenom. But Samad, is he able to break away from the DRS? He's got to do it right now, but if not, Zenom have the DRS on the main straight. So let's see if the Williams has the pace, try and break out of DRS range as we exit the final two corners.
I think he'll be alright, mate, breaking out this corner with that traction. He'll obviously, Zenon will still have DRS, but I think that traction out that last corner is enough to keep it about 9 tenths, maybe 8 tenths. But he then got this twisty section 1 to use those tyres, and then the fast section, and you do need traction in sector 2. So sector 1, sector 2 with these soft tyres, I think it'll be about 1.8 by the end of sector 2.
The safety cars have definitely twisted and changed the strategy, because one way was going towards Zenom's way and Velocio Jr.'s way in the first stint, but 3 safety cars can make or break people's races, and they've certainly made or break people's races as well. However, these two are still there in P6 and P7. They can't get past Neymar or Burmeister. They're still stuck there, so they haven't really capitalised on these so-called hard tyres. Are they taking too much life out of them, I wonder, after having loads of scraps?
I think it comes down to how aggressive they've been on the start. We saw Samad make it work, but we saw that he was being very aggressive. End of sector 2, it's 1.6. I said 1.8, so I'm not too far off, but he certainly got there. Yeah, I just think Samad was that little bit more aggressive than Electro Dan, Lord, and Alex Scopo. Those guys obviously didn't have the kahunas that Samad had. But yeah, Samad certainly stuck his elbows out and put his nose in there, and it's paid dividends to him because he's now nearly 2 seconds clear. Now, personally, I'd draw it back a little bit. You've got Velocio Jr. on used hards, Zenon on used mediums, Burmeister on used hards. Samad just needs to just keep that 2 seconds now. Look at that delta and keep it there. Don't take too much life out of these softs, because I don't think you're going to get Velocio Jr. nipping at his heels by the end, but you could do if he takes too much out of these softs.
I have no idea if Sam can build that 3-second gap over Velocio Jr. The gap is 1.9 right now, maybe in the first and last sector, in the twisty parts where he can try and gain some time with those so-called hard tyres. Burmeister's 1 second away from Zenom as well, so he's not exactly touching.
Jamie, I forgot about that 3 seconds.
Did you?
So,
I was wondering
yeah,
why
I did actually. Yeah, I did forget about that 3 seconds. It does need to push actually. So yeah, but I think he's in that no man's land. I think if he pushes, he'll lose it. I don't think he's got it in the tyres, mate. Honestly, I think 8 laps. You've only got really 4 laps left, maybe 5 laps. It's going to be tight, mate. It's going to be tight.
Burmeister's been shuffled into P5 there, his home Grand Prix. He did have a bad qualifying, but made his way backwards the field, up into P5. Neymar has got past him now, as he's still doing a good job in P4. Those guys are protecting themselves against Lord by the Top G, because they're out behind again. Top G has picked himself up a 3-second penalty. That was a few laps ago, of course, but the gap is 2.4 seconds, as Road now sets the fast lap of the race with a 10.446. So Samad needs to eke out a few more tenths, try and get the gap over 3 seconds, but the soft-core powered tyres, will they start to fade out? Will they give up the peak performance of those tyres, and therefore the advantage swings back towards Velocio Jr.'s way? Who knows?
I'm really intrigued to see how this ends out, because I don't understand how Lord Electrodan and Outscopo have just stalled so much. I thought they'd storm ahead. I mean, I said originally that I imagined that 3 of these 4 would be 2, 3 and 4 place at the finishing line, and they just not happened. So I just don't know why that is, Jamie.
Yeah, I have no idea either, to be honest with you. Maybe when that safety car came in that third safety car came in, just they were scrapping so much there amongst themselves, and top G they're looking for a move on the inside of Burmeister, but unable to make that work.
Unless Jamie, Burmeister has decided to transform his car into an absolute effing bus. Because he must have just gone from, here's my top trump card of defensive driving, I have a load of that. So maybe Burmeister is the cork in the bottle that's just basically driving really defensively and really defensively well. It's the only thing I can really think of, because Neymar's not exactly pulling away. He's on used mediums. So yeah, maybe it's these 2 in front that are just... Oh, have you seen Lord Brad? Oh, the outside now. Now the outside line into the stadium section. No, he's not going to get it. So yeah, maybe it is just Burmeister and Neymar just being... I can't swear as what I wanted to say on the stream, but maybe they've just been absolute bitches to Lord Brad by being buses. So yeah, well, I do like doing that myself. I love making my rear wing as wide as possible when I'm trying to hold people up. But yeah, it looks like they're doing it fair and squarely. You know, the very racing IQ, and these two. Well, if we just see Burmeister get past Neymar on the outside, who's going to get the inside line into the next corner? They're touching, bodywork, paint and scraping. Oh, and Burmeister comes ahead of Neymar.
And Neymar trying to go back down the inside, but he can't quite do so. Burmeister gets the grass on the outside there. But Summit, then the gap is 3.8 seconds. We've got a bit of news from John Moves. He says that the crash with Mills happened with Summit. So let's see who's at fault, because if Summit is found guilty for that crash, then possibly another penalty is coming his way, because we know Mills is going to appeal it, because Zenum's in P2. As we know that Mills is a very good friend with Zenum, so we'll definitely appeal it.
Oh! So John's saying Emils and Zenon came together.
Zenum?
Who did you say, sorry?
Emils and Burmeister, Summit.
Oh, Burmeister. Oh, okay.
Summit.
Oh, Summit.
It was lap
so
1.
3 laps left. Let's say again, mate.
It happened on lap 1, I think.
Say Lord Brad on the back of Neymar. I don't think I'll have it, but we've got Neymar on the back of Burmeister. He's going to do on the inside line at turn 1. He's harvesting. He's got the inside line. Burmeister should have the faster outside line as they approach the chicane of the next set of corners. And it looks Lord Bradgie's getting tough in there. Who's going to come out on top? Burmeister on the inside, Lord Bradgie around the outside. And Lord Bradgie gets the move done ahead of Burmeister. And of course, putting the DRS back into medium, sitting behind Neymar and having a bit of energy for the next battle. 2.5 laps remaining of this race.
Looks like Zenum's tyres start to drop away as well, because Lotchev Jr. the gap is 9/10 of a second there, so the medium's not really working well. But I'm surprised there, because Zenum did the medium compound tyres giving Neymar.
Neymar rear spin coming out of turn 15, I think it is, and Lord Bradgie had to sit behind him as he made contact. Lord Bradgie goes ahead of him. I think Neymar gave it up there and let him go ahead, because he knew that he delayed him there by spinning and making contact. So Lord Bradgie now ahead of Neymar, but Lord Bradgie does have that penalty. Just going back to the front there, Samad is 4.5 ahead with a 3-second time penalty. Now I said originally it'd be about 4.8 seconds at the finish line, so without that penalty I won't be far off, Jamie. Oh no, Neymar, there's contact, there's big contact at turn 1, and Lord Bradgie loses 3 positions.
He does indeed that. Electro Dan now on the outside of Neymar going towards turn 3, but can't make that stick as Burmeister sells for P4. It's been a disappointing race for Burmeister Stowens here. I thought at his home Grand Prix he'll be up there in the top 3, but had a disappointing qualifying, as he usually does. He does drop backwards in qualifying. Same with Hurricane, same with Pabelli. Those guys have something wrong with qualifying.
But those hards though, mate. I know Velocio Jr., he's made him work. But yeah, I'm impressed by Velocio Jr. By making it into P2 so far on the hards. And Burmeister, likewise, in P4, I think it's valiant effort on the hards. But they're a bloody shite tyre around here, they really are.
haven't driven this track for a long time, so I have no idea what the tyre situation is
Oh,
like.
they're
But
rubbish,
Samit
mate. They're so
starts
bad.
his final lap of the Grand Prix, but there's still a battle going on for P4 downwards. The battle for P4, Burmeister is trying to put the toe as the guys behind have DRS. Here comes Mercedes now. Which way? Around the outside he goes, in towards turn one. Can he make it stick on those mini compound tyres? Or Burmeister's got the edge. I think Mercedes went a bit too deep in towards turn one, so we're going to watch out behind with Electro Dan and the top G as well. It's been a good race so far. 3 safety cars are down the inside, and he spins out as well. Electro Dan has fallen back into P8. That move was never one, unfortunately, as we go back towards the top end of the field. Neymar's 1/10 behind. We need to go for a move in that high-speed corner towards 7. No, it's too far behind to do so, but putting Burmeister under all sorts of pressure. But Samid back towards him, as Roder says, the quick slaps of the Grand Prix. What a fantastic drive from Samid so far in this Grand Prix. He returned back to racing in Division 1 later in the season, but here he is. His last podium, I think, was at the Brazilian Grand Prix in season 15 in Division 1 when Hazard went on to win in the feature race. But here comes Samid. Around the final corners he goes, and he will finally get the winning feeling again, because it's been a long time since Samit's won a Grand Prix. Here he is, the Williams makes his way towards the checkered flag. Samit wins the Dutch GP. What a fantastic drive, even with a 3-second penalty. Veloce M Jr. finishes in P2, and Zenom will finish the podium for the second time in a row. But here comes Burmeister under massive pressure. Here comes Mercedes. Mercedes just gets it. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
21,000s, mate. 21,000s. So yeah, Jamie, really quickly, quick maths. 3 seconds onto Velocio Junior's time. 4.788. I was 12 thousandths of a second off my prediction.
I don't know how you do these predictions. Your best prediction. Your best prediction.
I said
was
4.8. I was 12 thousandths of a second off.
Your best prediction was at the Chinese Grand Prix when it was the wet conditions. I think Harry Kane was hunted down MDJ or vice
6
versa.
laps from the end, I think it was, wasn't it? But this one was further. I think I predicted this 10 laps ago. So, yeah.
What a race this has been. 3 safety cars, not the safety cars we would have wanted, because one of them shouldn't have been there due to a purposeful crash, I dare say. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. But this man Samit will be absolutely delighted with the race win. The Scotsman is back on top with Veloce Jr. in P2, and Zenom is on the podium once again for the second time in a row for Zenom. As we see Burmeister from 9th to 4th, Neymar finishes in 5th place. Alex Copo out of nowhere finishes in 6th place. He spent most of the time outside the top 10, did the Mercedes driver. But that's just classifications. And we've got one more race left to go this season. That is at the British GP. And we always know Silverstone always provides us some fantastic entertainment and action. And I cannot wait to see what is going to store for us as well. But Zenom's here, as he finished in P3. We'll start with Zenom first. So, Zenom, it's your second time on the podium, mate. And also you took pole around here as well. Fantastic. No, you didn't finish. You started second, sorry. Finished in third. Yeah. So, almost got a pole, but got beaten by Veloce Jr. What's your thoughts and feelings into this Grand Prix? Did you think those 3 safety cars benefited you or put you at disadvantage? Which one of those 3 safety cars did you think that wasn't yours?
I think it didn't benefited me. I think I had a better pace and better control if there wasn't any safety cars. But yeah, the first one might be benefited on because I could go for the mediums, but after that, yeah, I could save my tires a little bit under the safety cars, but I got stuck behind Electro Dan and Brad G, and after that it was very difficult to take advantage of the mediums because the hards, yeah, they could stay behind and follow. But when I got in free air, I could yeah, get the pace up. But after that, yeah, Samad came from behind on the softs and closed the gap behind, and then the Veloce got tone up to me, and then I was yeah, I had no chance. I had tires left on the end. The last 2-3 rounds there, I was sitting duck. Yeah.
Well, you did a fantastic job because those mediums were degrading for heavily, And did you think that the guys from P4 downwards had a chance to get to you? Were you worried about the guys behind?
I think I had a good pace towards the hards, but on the last safety car there, when some of the people could go to the softs, I was a little bit sweaty, but yeah, I'm pleased with my race today, and yeah, it was a good race. So I'm happy with the third place, and yeah, we'll see if someone gets a penalty afterwards from what happened in the first laps there. But yeah.
So Zen, just one from me, mate. Your fastest lap of the track. Oh, well done, by the way. Congratulations on your podium.
Thank you.
Your fastest lap of the race was a 1:12.068, which we won't go to the fastest lap of anyone because it was happened later on with fresher tyres. But compared to everyone else who pitted once or twice, you were actually only 10,000 of a second slower than the second fastest lap of people who pitted twice or once. So your fastest lap was pretty much, if it wasn't for Ruder, who'd pitted late on for fresh laps, you'd have had the second fastest lap of the race by a mere 20,000th of a second, mate. So fair play to that one. But a question from me.
Yeah.
Do you think at the start of the race, with the hustle and tussle, that you would have done anything different if you watched it back now? If that makes sense. So with how difficult it was at the start, with nose to tail, DRS trains and ERS wars, would you have done anything different now you know how the race went?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I could have been a little bit. I'm not sure if I had to be more aggressive to get in front, but I think it's very difficult to pull away on this track. So so I just stayed behind Lurcher for a couple of laps, and just tried to save my tires and keep my ERS up. And so I'm not sure. I have to watch it in replay. Maybe I get smarter tomorrow.
It's difficult, isn't it? Hindsight's a great thing, but you don't normally know hindsight until you watch it back. But yeah, I mean, either way, mate, you did an absolute fantastic job tonight, mate. So you should be very proud of that podium. You worked very hard for it, so well done, mate.
Yeah, I need a shower now, and thank you very much, mate.
And a drink.
Yeah, and a drink.
I also want to mention as well your pace, and finally we could say consistency, because like I said, every single race last season, the season before, lads, you end up spinning quite a lot as well. And when I don't know what stage of the Grand Prix, maybe it could be start, middle, or end, but somewhere you started spinning. But has those finally stopped now? Have you finally started to work more to your driving pace, towards your race pace now, and working consistency? Are you starting to understand the car better now? Because it seems like you're just overdriving a bit too much, but this time it seems like you get better and better.
Yeah, it's a couple of things. I have in the future overdriven the pace, because the people in this division is absolutely crazy fast. And when the tires are getting worn, I have struggled with to remember to put the ERS down again to medium from hot lap in some corners, and then I'm gone on worn tires. So my last few months, I've tried to do my training with the ERS management, and that has helped me a lot in the last few races. Because earlier I've just driven the long runs on medium ERS with no DRS or switching the ERS, and then when I'm just gonna use that in the race, I have struggled. So it's that was.
Thank you very much, mate, indeed. And it's nice to see that you scoring more good results because you deserve it. You deserve these good results because I know that you've got some blistering pace, but it's just that one thing you need to work on was consistency. And I understand, when you're racing, and you got to remember all these switches and changes, etc. And the EOS thing, sometimes I know other people where they put EOS on the corners and they spin out and they wonder why they spin out, but at the same time, it's just all part of the learning curve, really. So yeah, it's just about adjusting to every single situation you're in.
Yeah, it's been that one more thing to added to this game, and that was the ERS management in a little bit different style than the previous games, and that has been a long way for me to get used to.
And also, congratulations for your first win last week. Your first win in a long time.
Yeah, thank you. That was very cool. Very, very cool. So,
I believe it
thank
when
you
you
very
won the
much.
Grand Prix.
Ah, I couldn't believe it. So it was very funny. So yeah, I'm proud of myself. So that's a good thing. Very cool.
Yeah, one last one from me, mate, before we let you go, because you're the only podium interviewer tonight. Going to the last race of the season, obviously it's Silverstone. I think it's the first time in SFR history that we've finished on Silverstone, which I think collectively for everyone is a pretty good track for people. How are you feeling for that, mate? Are you excited for it? Are you good round here? What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I like Silverstone. It's a very cool track, and it invites to very good racing. I haven't driven Silverstone very much on this game, so I have to step up the game this week, coming week, and have some good practice runs and getting the pace on both qual and the long run. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. So it will be a cool end of the season, and end it on Silverstone will be very cool.
Good stuff, mate. Zenon, I just want to thank you very much for joining the podium interviews. It's really, really good when we get to hear from the drivers. It gives another dimension to everyone watching, and of course for you watching it back. But I'm going to leave it to you guys now. So Zenon, congratulations on your podium, and Jamie will finish this stream. Jamie, as always, has been an awesome commentator with SFR. He's a staple commentator for us. Everyone in this league really respects him and really appreciates his time. So thank you, Jamie, for everything you've done for us, mate, and for finishing this season off with most of the divisions, mate. We really do appreciate you, mate.
So
thank you very much, and I'll stand behind those words to Jamie.
Thank you very much, mate. I got 4 more races to commentate. 1 tomorrow and 3 more Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So 4 more to go. And when I joined last week, on Monday, I had 9 races to go. I couldn't believe it when I had 9 races to commentate for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So yeah, it's been a long commentary for me. I thought to be shorter than expected, but of course I have to. I don't have to, but I'm absolutely grateful that I can help people out as well and help people that deserve to have a commentator alongside them, because it's always great to have a commentator, but unfortunately, some people gave up way too early, and yeah, people had to step in like me. But that has been a bit difficult because obviously you got 3 tiers to remember, divisions. You got to understand what's happening in each division very quickly, because I only joined Division 3 when it towards the end of the season and there was a championship fight, so I had to understand and catch up very quickly what was happening in that division. So it can be a bit difficult sometimes, but at the same time it's a challenge for me and I'm happy to take on the challenge.
Very good.
But anyways, I'm going to end it there. So join us back one more time at the Dutch GP for Division 1 at 7:30. And there's still a championship fight going on between Fireblades and Kaname, and also a few more others as well. We'll see you all later next week at the British GP for the final race of the season.